We're Greg and Anita Baker, and we moved here to Panama from Renton, Washington. We moved here in April.
The end of April.
End of April
year.
of this year, and we started off in Playa Rampio, and we rented a house until we purchased this house that we're here in now. And we came here end of June.
Yes.
End of June, and we love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
We love this house.
So, we started off last year. Well, actually, we started off a couple of years ago. We took a trip to Maui. We fell in love with the tropical weather.
Then we had to take a second trip to Maui.
Because we loved it so much. And we decided that that was what we wanted to do. If we could retire in Maui, we would retire in Maui. No, nobody can afford Maui.
Yeah, we started looking into it. We knew we wanted to be somewhere tropical. We both loved the beach, and we knew we couldn't afford that. And retirement was coming close, so we started doing some investigating and some researching, and that's what brought us here.
Yeah. And he's the research expert, so he started researching, and he found Jackie's tour. Actually, he looked at international living first, and we didn't like it because it was a sales tour. That was one of the things that we didn't want to go on a sales tour and buy this, buy that. We didn't want to do that. We really wanted to learn about where we were considering living. So he found Jackie's tour and
started researching
it.
And we decided to book our spot on the tour.
And we booked it for last April, a year ago. And we loved it. Everything was so organized, and it was scary for us to come here because he's never been out of the country, out of the U.S.
No, I had to go get my first passport.
Yeah. So it was a little scary at first, but she planned everything, so we felt really safe and really secure, knowing that we knew what we were doing. And first few places that we went along the tour, we didn't really care for. We knew that there were areas, and we actually thought about moving to Boquete because we had heard so much about it. But when we got here and we got down the beach here to Phil's house, and we stepped out on the beach, and that was it.
We
were in love.
We both knew that this is where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
It was on this beach in Las Tablas.
It was awesome. This last April, we knew that we were going to move down here. We made all of our arrangements. And this last April, beginning of April, I came down here. Jackie and her team had sent us a video of this place, and she knew that this is what we wanted. She said, "This is perfect for you." She listened to us very well, and she showed us this video, and we fell in love before we even got down here. Came down here the 1st of April, looked at the house, fell in love with it, made arrangements to buy it. We knew this is where we wanted to be, and we love it. We get up every morning. The sunrise wakes us up, and that's really awesome.
The sun rises right over the ocean.
Yeah.
Every morning.
And we can hear, that's the first thing we hear in the morning, besides the dogs. We're on the beach almost every single day, sometimes twice a day if we can get it in. It's so peaceful. It's just so nice. Okay, so when we first moved here, one of our biggest concerns was health care. One of the reasons we actually retired early, was that Greg has some health issues that he could not continue working. So that was a major concern for us. We're finding out it's not such a big deal. We've visited medical facilities here.
Mm-hmm. Jackie covered a lot of the health insurance and doctor visit. During the tour, she was pretty informative on healthcare down here, so we felt really informed during the tour, and put a lot of our worries to rest.
Yeah. And then I actually had to go. I developed a really bad earache. I had to go to the doctor. Well, she was awesome. She was very sweet. She didn't speak much English. I didn't speak much Spanish. Google Translate is absolutely wonderful. We got through it. She got me taken care of. Boom, done, all better, and back on the beach.
Best experience has been just living here.
Our best experience about living in Panama is being able to get up, get in your swimsuit, and go out on the beach every single day. And having the water actually sometimes warmer than the air. It's beautiful.
And the dogs absolutely love the beach.
Yeah, and having the room for them to run. That's our absolute best experience. And that's almost every day.
The worst experience was when we first came to Panama and we had a short-term rental, and it wasn't that bad of a house, but it was absolutely infested with bugs. Cockroaches, ants, scorpions. How many bugs did we see?
Oh, we got introduced to a lot of Panamanian bugs.
Yeah, there was a lot of bugs in that
It was a
house.
hardcore introduction.
We had somebody come in and spray for bugs, and pretty much took care of most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite an experience, going into the bathroom in the middle of the night and seeing cockroaches scatter everywhere.
The house had been vacant for quite a while, so nobody had been living there, and the bugs just took over.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the worst experience.
By far.
Yeah, so things that surprised us about living here, that really nicely surprised us, are the other expats. When we first lived in Rompio, right away, our neighbors down the street knew that we were coming. They met us to see if we had anything. They cooked hot dogs
Yeah.
for us, made sure that we had some dinner, and gave you a glass of beer so you could relax.
And then we were invited to a couple of parties,
Right
during
off the
those
bat.
first weeks. We were made to feel very welcome.
And then
and we've made a lot of friends along the way.
yeah, and then the same here. When we moved in here, neighbors introduced themselves. They already knew that we were coming. The previous owners took us to a party here on the street, introduced us to all of our neighbors, and they've been just awesome. And they're really quick to help you and show you what's good, what's not. So most of the grocery shopping and stuff that we do, just local, we run to the little store in here in Las Tablas for most of our supplies. When we want to do our bigger shopping, or when we want something a little more
Something they don't have here in
something
Las
they don't have
Tablas.
here, we can also go into Chitre,
Chitre's got a lot more options for groceries and grocery shopping.
and that's about a 40-minute drive from here.
And then for larger quantities of stuff, they've got the Price Smart in Santiago, which is about an hour and a half drive from here. And that's where we get our dog food and other bulk items. And Price Smart is like a Costco.
Yeah.
So we go about once every 6 weeks into Price Smart and grab our bulk items.
Yeah.
But for the most part, our daily grocery shopping is done right here in Las Tablas.
And we do get our dog food in Santiago. One of our dogs has a beef allergy, and a lot of the foods that you find here are beef based on the regular market. So we go in where we can get her a good chicken base without wheat also. And it works really good. It's a really good price. And she does just great on it.
Yeah, it's worth the drive.
Yeah. So, as far as feeling comfortable and safe, I think we feel pretty
We
comfortable.
feel pretty safe here. We get there's a naval base close by here, and they patrol this area regularly. We see them driving by almost nightly, if not every other night.
Yeah.
If the power is out, if the power happens to be out, we'll see them driving by
especially at night.
Yeah, especially at night, just
Yeah.
checking things out. So we feel pretty safe in this area.
That, and we did have a gentleman, actually we'd only been here a couple of weeks, and we had one of our expat neighbors came in and knocked on the door, said that he thought he'd had somebody in his backyard the night before, explained the situation. Nothing happened, and he did have the police come out. But I thought it was really nice of him to go to all the different neighbors and say, hey, this guy was possibly in my backyard. And when I started to spread the news to some of our other neighbors, they already knew about it as well. So it's kind of a good neighborhood watch thing going on here. It's kind of nice, makes you feel pretty safe. If we go away for any amount of time, which we did, we had to go back to the States for a couple of weeks, and our neighbors took good care of our house for us. They watched for us and made us feel really good.
Language has been an issue.
Okay.
But we've always been able to work around it with either Google Translate or having somebody along that is bilingual.
For the more serious stuff.
Our attorney has been just awesome. She helped us open up our bank account. She's helped us with numerous other things.
Introducing us to a doctor.
Yes. And sent somebody to help get the truck registered in our name, because I had no idea where to go with that. So he came out on 3 different occasions to help get the ownership changed over into my name. So yeah, we've been able to work around the language barrier with various means.
So as far as internet and cell phone service, we have Mossmobile for our phone, and I love that, actually.
Our phone service
is very good. We've actually even been right down on the beach and using it, and we get reception, so it's kind of nice.
The internet is another story.
Yes, the
internet is okay for the most part, unless you want to do any streaming. Netflix works pretty good most of the time. But for streaming, I like to watch my NFL football games, and sometimes that can be a challenge to stream something like that.
Right.
But for the most part, the internet is acceptable.
Okay, so one of the nice things that we like to do here is go to dinner. We have a couple of groups that we hang around with. The one is from the group in Rompio, and a lot of times we'll just go right down the street to Monterey. There's just a little fonda there. She serves excellent shrimp. And it's usually served with papa fritas or plantanos.
Which is either fried bananas or French fries.
Yeah. And
got to bring your own tartar sauce.
Yeah, bring your own tartar sauce. But we go as a group. We sit outside. We have a delicious dinner, and it costs us, with a soda, maybe $11 for 2 people. Absolutely awesome, and guaranteed fresh. Yeah. So our family and our friends, how they felt about us moving to Panama was really mixed. A lot of people didn't understand because they didn't do the research.
Yeah.
They knew nothing about the country.
They didn't understand why we were moving to Panama. Some people thought it was a third world country. We were going to live in a hut with a dirt floor and no plumbing, and, which isn't the case. But I've had some family and friends that were all for it and go for it. And, I've had some other family that had some misgivings. My dad was not all for it first, but I think he understands now. My daughter, she was for it, but I know she misses me as much as I miss her, and we try to stay in touch, and we try to get back and visit as much as we can. Your dad is
my dad,
in the States.
Yeah, and my dad absolutely loved the idea of us coming here. my dad's traveled quite a bit. My dad and mom have traveled quite a bit, so they understood. They knew that Greg's health would be better here, and which it is. One of the nice things though is that really with modern technology, we're really not that far away. We use WhatsApp to video chat with them all the time.
Facebook Messenger,
Facebook
video
Messenger,
chat.
yeah. We talk with them all the time, and we do video chats all the time. So we're really not that far away in this day and age. So it's pretty okay. And we've got family that's planning a visit in February. So that's pretty cool too. So the only advice that we can give is do the research. Research where you're going to live. Don't and by do the research, do it online, and then actually come and visit.
Ask a lot of questions and read Jackie's book like cover to cover about a dozen times.
Yeah.
Along with your research.
Because you're going to forget. Get out highlighters. Make notes in the book. Ours is coffee stained and dog-eared and highlighted
and bookmarked.
and bookmarked. And it's a mess.
We spent about 3 years researching this move, so it wasn't spur of the moment.
So yeah, just do your research and then come visit.